Health Pioneers present Baby Feeding Schedule, a guide to the first year. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for more relevant health topics. A guide to the first year of your baby feeding schedule. Eat, sleep, pee, poop, repeat. Those are the highlights in a day of the life of a brand new baby. And if you're a new parent, it's the eating part that may be the source of many of your questions and worries. How many ounces should your baby take? Do you wake a sleeping baby to eat? Why do they seem hungry all the time? When can your child start solids? Questions abound, and, despite grandma's insistence, the answers have changed since you were a tot. It's now recommended that newborns, even formula-fed ones, eat on demand, consider it good preparation for the teenage years, and that babies wait to start solid foods until they're 4 to 6 months old. Baby feeding schedule by age. On day 1 of life, your baby's stomach is the size of a marble and can only hold 1 to 1.4 teaspoons of liquid at a time. As your baby gets older, the stomach stretches and grows. It's hard, or impossible, really, to know how much milk your baby is taking in while breastfeeding. But if you're bottle feeding due to any number of valid reasons, it's a bit easier to measure. Yes. Start with soft foods, like one-grain cereals and pureed vegetables, meats, and fruits, progressing to mashed and well-chopped finger foods. Give your baby one new food at a time. Continue supplementing with breast or formula feedings. How often should your baby eat? Every baby is unique, but one thing that's pretty consistent is that breastfed babies eat more frequently than bottle-fed ones. That's because breast milk is easily digested and empties from the stomach a lot quicker than formula. Breastfed babies. At first, it's important not to let your baby go more than 4 hours without feeding. You'll likely need to wake them up if necessary, at least until breastfeeding is well established and they're gaining weight appropriately. As your baby grows and your milk supply amps up, your baby will be able to take in more milk in less time at one feeding. That's when you might start to notice a more predictable pattern. 1 to 3 months, your baby will feed 7 to 9 times per 24 hours. 3 months, feedings take place 6 to 8 times in 24 hours. 6 months, your baby will feed around 6 times a day. 12 months, nursing may drop to about 4 times a day. The introduction of solids at about 6 months helps to fuel your baby's additional nutritional needs. Keep in mind that this pattern is just one example. Different babies have different paces and preferences, along with other factors that influence the frequency of feedings. Bottle-fed babies. Like breastfed babies, bottle-fed newborns should eat on demand. On average, that's about every 2 to 3 hours. A typical feeding schedule may look like this. Newborn, every 2 to 3 hours. At 2 months, every 3 to 4 hours. At 4 to 6 months, every 4 to 5 hours. At 6+ months, every 4 to 5 hours. For both breastfed and bottle-fed babies. Don't give liquids other than formula or breast milk to babies under a year old. That includes juices and cow's milk. They don't provide the right, if any, nutrients and can be upsetting to your baby's tummy. Water can be introduced around 6 months when you start offering a cup. Don't add baby cereal to a bottle. It can create a choking hazard. A baby's digestive system isn't mature enough to handle cereal until about 4 to 6 months of age. You could overfeed your baby. Don't give your baby any form of honey until after their first birthday. Honey can be dangerous for a baby, occasionally causing what's called infant botulism. To adjust your expectations based on your baby and their unique needs. Premature babies are likely to follow feeding patterns according to their adjusted age. If your baby has challenges like reflux or failure to thrive, you may need to work with your doctor on the appropriate feeding schedule and amount they should be eating. How to get on a feeding schedule. Schedules are the holy grail of every parent. Your child will naturally start to fall into a feeding pattern as their tummy grows and they can take in more breast milk or formula at one sitting. This may begin to happen between 2 and 4 months of age. For now, though, focus on learning your baby's hunger cues, such as rooting around your chest, looking for a nipple, putting their fist in their mouth, smacking or licking their lips, fussing that can escalate quickly. Don't wait until your baby's hangry to feed them. Once your baby is a few months old, you may be able to introduce a sleep-feed schedule that works for you. Let's say, for example, your 4-month-old wakes every 5 hours for a feeding. That means if you feed at 9 p.m., your baby wakes around 2 a.m., but if you wake and feed the baby at 11 p.m., just before you go to bed, they may not rouse until 4 a.m., giving you a decent chunk of nighttime winks. What if your baby is still hungry? In general, if your baby seems hungry, feed them. Your baby will naturally eat more frequently during growth spurts, which typically occur around 3 weeks, 3 months, and 6 months of age. Some babies will also cluster feed, meaning they'll feed more frequently during certain periods and less at others. For example, your baby may cluster feed during the late afternoon and evening and then sleep longer at night. Yay! This is more common in breastfed babies than bottle-fed babies. Worried about overfeeding? While this isn't really possible to do with an exclusively breastfed baby, you can overfeed a baby who's taking a bottle, especially if they're sucking on the bottle for comfort. Follow their hunger cues, but talk to your pediatrician if you're worried your little one may be overeating. How to start solids. Your baby is probably ready for solids if they're 4 to 6 months old and have good head control, seem interested in what you're eating, reach for food, weigh 13 or more pounds. Which food to start with? The AAP now says it doesn't really matter much in what order you introduce foods. The only real rule, stick with one food for 3 to 5 days before offering another. If there's an allergic reaction, rash, diarrhea, vomiting are common first signs, you'll know which food is causing it. As your baby grows, move from pureed baby food to ones that have more texture, for example, mashed banana, scrambled egg, or well-cooked, chopped pasta. This generally happens around 8 to 10 months of age. Your supermarket offers a variety of baby food products, but if you want to make your own, keep it sugar and salt-free. Additionally, at this stage, don't feed your baby anything that could be a choking hazard, including hard foods, such as popcorn or nuts. Hard, fresh fruits, like apples, cooked to soften or chop into very small pieces. Any meat that isn't well cooked and very well chopped, this includes hot dogs. Cheese cubes. Peanut butter, though talk to your pediatrician about this one, and the benefits of introducing diluted peanut butter before the age of 1. As your baby nears their first birthday, they should be eating a variety of foods and taking in about 4 ounces of solids at each meal. Continue to offer breast milk or formula. By 8 months, babies are drinking about 30 ounces a day. Oh yeah, and buy some stock in a company that makes stain-fighting laundry detergent. It'll pay for college. Other concerns. Babies aren't cookie cutter. Some will gain weight easily, while others will have problems. Things that can affect a baby's weight gain include having a birth defect like a cleft lip or palate, which creates problems feeding, having a milk protein intolerance, being premature, being fed with a bottle versus the breast. A 2012 study, trusted source of more than 1,800 babies, found that the infants who were fed with a bottle, regardless of whether the bottle contained breast milk or formula, gained more weight in the first year than babies who nursed exclusively. Your baby's doctor is the best one to advise you on a healthy weight range for your baby. How, when, and what to feed a baby are top worries of every parent, but there's good news: most babies are pretty good judges of when they're hungry and when they're full, and they'll let you know it. You just need to present them with the right choices at the right time and pay attention to their cues. If you have any questions or concerns, your pediatrician is there to help you along the way. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video.